everyone, Lisa here from Forest City Stitching. I hope everyone had a great week. It's really nice out today. Happy Father's Day to any fathers that may be watching this video. Yeah, we're going to do barbecue for dinner tonight because that's what my husband wanted. And other than that, we're not doing a whole lot of anything. There's an F1 race on, so he will be watching that and I will be stitching. This is going to be an even shorter video than last week. So I did bring up my knitting to show you as well. Really only worked on one piece, but I did bring my car piece, or my purse piece, to show as well. So yeah, let's get started. But yeah, this is going to be a very quick video. So I did get my fabric of the month from the sewing shop called Fresh Prints, and it is very modeled on that half, not so modeled on this half, so you can just see the difference. So depending on what you wanted to do, you have some options. So it's mainly purple, but there is a little bit of green and pink in there as well. No idea what I'm gonna do with that. But that's fine. Okay, so I'll show you my purse project. And so this is on my whip go for a finish, and it has been called, I don't know what month it was called, but it has been called. So it's Pile of Joy by Crafty Peacock Stitchery. I don't know if she still has an Etsy shop, but Katie used to have a Flosstube channel a long time ago. And this is how it's looking. So this is on a piece of tea-dyed Ada. Yeah, so not too much more to go. Gotta finish that O, put in the Y, finish the words up here. I just all over the place. We need to get some stitches in there, it looks like, and then put in some windows. Yeah. I remember this piece was the first time I used any sort of fancy floss. I think that was a Classic Colorworks 4-leaf clover, if I'm remembering correctly. Put that back in its little pouch. Hopefully this week I'll get some more stitching time at lunch. I had a few webinars at lunch this week, so that I didn't necessarily leave every day for an extended period of time. All right, so I'll show you this first. I'm working on Stained Glass Disney Heroes, and if you remember, I'm stitching it like this, and so this is the section we are in right now. Just looking at the piece down there, I believe we are getting towards like the staff here, because I've added in some oranges, so I think that's what it's accounting for there. Hopefully that is focusing okay. Okay, let's see if I can pick this up. So this I have on 30-inch scroll rods. There you go. And, oops, that's how it's looking. I hope you can see that okay. There's a few colors I didn't have, so I went to Michael's this morning after my run and picked those up. I really thought I had picked up everything for this piece, but apparently not. But yeah. That's coming along well. For the travel section, I'm doing this for, I need 2,250 stitches. I believe I have added in just over 1,000 stitches right now, so I still have about 1,200 to go before I'm done working on this piece. And I have been working on it all week, so next week's video may look a little bit similar. So I hope that's okay. Knitting. So I did start, I started to make a scarf with this yarn that I got at the Fergus Fiber Festival from Hoko Hoko. So it's the yarn-based teddy, so it's kind of, I don't know, all misshapen. Lots of slumps, I guess, is the best way. And it's called Little Dipper. And so I'm holding this double. I don't have scissors up here. Do scissors in my card project. I should get rid of some of those ends. But that is how my scarf is looking so far. So yeah, this is nice just because it's just easy stitching. I had found a scarf with a little bit of a pattern, but because of all the slubs and everything, you wouldn't see a pattern anyway. So I am, yeah, just knitting it back and forth. And then, okay, I am working on, so there's a new sock pattern. It was free on Ravelry. Yes, I do believe it was. Spring trellis. So it has a little bit of ribbing there. I am using, I think it's called Tulip. That's how it kicked up by Timber Yards. I think it might be, they may not have any available any longer. I think I got it on sale. So that's how the leg is looking. I did do the leg shorter than the pattern called for. I don't really want a super long leg. I only decreased the pattern by like 3 rows, so it wasn't crazy. Not 3 rows, 3 bands essentially, because how it's working up, the color bands are kind of matching the pattern. Yeah, so that's how the leg looks. I read the pattern wrong for the heel flap. So structurally, I think it'll be fine, but yeah, everything's fine. As long as I remember to do the same thing as I did on the other sock, then I'll be fine. I did the heel turn without having to look at a YouTube video. And I picked out my stitches. Probably the most successfully of all the socks that I've made. So, yeah. So now I need to work on the gusset decrease and keep in mind the pattern. So this pattern will be on the front, and we'll just knit on the bottom. And the pattern is for DPNs, but I prefer to stitch on 9-inch circulars, and I'm understanding it pretty good as far as like translating it from DPNs to the circular. Our little one's it. Go. No, leave that alone. Yeah, so that's how that is looking. Excuse me, no. No, we don't need to sharpen our teeth on the lap stand. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I just need to, because the pattern itself is a 4-row rotation for the pattern, if that makes sense. But then it's having to decrease every 3rd row. So yeah, I'm just, maybe it would make sense for me to kind of write it out a little bit more. But yeah, pretty happy with that. A little bit mad that I screwed up the heel. And how I screwed it up was, so you knit slip 1 row, and then coming back, you're supposed to slip a stitch and then purl all the way across. Well, I read it as slip, purl, slip, purl. And it wasn't until I was like 4 rows in, like another knitting session, when I picked it back up, and I'm like, I read that wrong. But I wasn't going to rip it out. So I think it'll be fine. Maybe it'll make it stronger. Probably not. But I don't think it will hurt it, as long as I know what I'm doing for the next one. So yeah, pretty happy with my ability to remember how to make socks, and that patterns are making sense. Yeah, and when I read a DPN pattern, that I can remember that this is my first needle, this is my 2nd and 3rd needle, and this is my 4th needle. So yeah. So that's all I have. I hope everyone enjoyed my little dive into my sock adventure. And again, everyone have a great Father's Day, and we'll see you next week.